We are about to begin in just a moment. Thank you. And due to COVID protocols, we do ask everybody to keep their masks on over the mouth and noses throughout the ceremony. It's not that comfortable, but it's important to keep everybody safe here. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, due to protocols, it's complicated to keep everybody separate and safe here. I just want to take the opportunity to welcome the girls, the Broadway Mitzvah, the stars of today. A big welcome. And obviously we thank and we welcome also your parents, mums and dads, grandmothers, grandfathers, siblings, cousins, family and friends who have joined us here in person in Shul for this very, very special ceremony, as well as those of you who are virtually watching us via YouTube. A very special welcome, and we thank you all. We thank the parents and families for entrusting us with your daughters over this past year. And to the girls, we are so happy to be celebrating this special ceremony of yours today here at Shul. This is not just the culmination of a year, meeting Lee and Natanya week in, week out. And in fact, girls, this is just the beginning of the journey. This is the beginning of your journey of young adulthood as you take your places in the Jewish community as adults of the Jewish people. Just like a Broadway show, each player, each actor is so integral on stage. So it is in Am Yisrael. Each member of the community is an integral player. God has chosen each one of you to take your mark, to take your place on stage, and to play your role in the future of the Jewish community as you step up into teenagehood, young adulthood, and your future. Today we celebrate with you, and today we bless you, giving you Hashem's richest blessings. And I'll end my introduction with the traditional Birkat Kohanim, the blessings of the Kohanim, and in fact everybody can give those blessings, and I give them to you today. Hashem bless you and safeguard you. May Hashem shine His godly countenance upon you and be gracious to you. Hashem raise His divine face towards you and bless you with peace and tranquility. Mazel tov, mazel tov.
There's no business like show business. There's no business we know. There are no people like show people, so welcome to our show. For years and years, the theatre has had us quite in trance, with shows that give us goosebumps through music, song and dance. On stages all around the world, as actors take their place, they take us on a journey around through time and space. The Phantom of the Opera, Cats and Miss Saigon, Hamilton, Les Mis, the list goes on and on. And in these Broadway shows are themes of love and war, and hope and inspiration, and courage and much more. The themes that they describe are already in the show. The stories and the lessons existed many years before. The musicals on Broadway, which we've come to adore. Open up the Torah, you'll be inspired by the story of the people of the nation on its quest for hope and glory. There's a richness in our history, one just needs to take a look. Our story is inspiring, there's greatness in our book. A book that has the lessons, how exactly we should live. A book that tells us when to take and mostly how to give. So while we are most grateful for Broadway's innovations, sit back as we pay tribute to Hashem's true creations. We love the Broadway musicals because they leave us feeling good. They are filled with song and dance, as all productions should. But the themes that they explore are actually quite outdated, somewhat unoriginal, and largely antiquated. So let us take you on a tour of the shows and make us sing. And you will see that it's Hashem, the source of everything. Every single story which has ever been shared, every lesson, every moral has its origin somewhere there. We're going back to Broadway, that's our Mitzvah Ceremony. Sit back, relax, and just enjoy. We'll show you what we mean. There is no business like show business, there is no business we know. There are no people like show people, so welcome to our show. The Lion King, The Circle of Life. The Lion King is a musical which has found its way off the movie screen and onto the stage. It is one of the most popular musicals for people of all ages. Simba and Mufasa, the lions in the fabulous show, were created to tell us about the infinite nature of the circle of life. To highlight that it is a circle which never ends, and to remind us all of the role everyone plays in it. These concepts are contained in our Jewish way of life. The Jewish religion is for the one life event after another. From birth to bar mitzvah, from puppet to old age, the Jewish life cycle events are rites of passage that are weaved throughout the lifespan. They serve to strengthen our individual Jewish identity and bind us to the larger Jewish community. Every moment of Jewish life is a celebration. Just after a baby boy undergoes the pain of a Brit Milah, the tension in the room is often released in laughter, as the person who names the baby wishes his parents the joy of bringing their son to the chuppah. This is what it means to be Jewish. It is to be part of a people who look forward with hope. It is to understand that nothing is forever, and at the same time, no one is ever forgotten. How Yiddishkeit has been highlighting the circular of life since the beginning of time. Hashem's creation of man tells us that we are all created in the image of Hashem. This suggests the importance of our place in the world. Every single one of us has a role to play, to do something which has impact, which makes the world a better place. As I become Bat Mitzvah, I feel proud to take up my place in the circle of life. Up till now, it has been my parents' responsibility, and I thank them for doing so with such dedication and love. But now it's my turn to acknowledge our royalty, to engage, to learn, to grow, and to be a Bat Melech in the Jewish circle of life. I'm joining my Bat Mitzvah with Rachel Kaplan, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing. As I become Bat Mitzvah, I feel proud and determined to uphold the Jewish values which are so important to who we are as people. I thank my parents for instilling these values in me and for being role models in living them. I hope to follow their footsteps as a proud member of our community. I am turning my Bat Mitzvah with Helen Arabi, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing. The sun will come out tomorrow. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there will be sun. The story of Annie has filled audiences with hope for years. Regardless of your age or gender, everyone knows the main theme song, almost word for word, despite her hard knock-life circumstances. The red-headed orphan gazes into the future with hope and optimism. She forces around her with resilience, and she shows courage in her plight. But the concept of hope is a Jewish one. In fact, hope is the gift of Judaism to the world. The whole of Judaism is a set of laws and narratives designed to create in people and families habits that defeat despair. Judaism is the voice of hope in society. Jewish women in particular, throughout the generations, educate, inspire, strengthen relationships, and build the bridges to bring hope to their loved ones, their communities, and the world. There's an amazing story about the liberation of Dachau, the concentration camp in Germany. As soldiers arrived to free the prisoners in the camp, the same prisoners stood together and prayed. They could barely keep themselves upright. It was a cold day in April, and they had been starved for food for many days. Despite the horrors they had witnessed and the pain that they endured, they prayed. Hope is not an empty, naive belief. Hope is the deep understanding that despite the obstacles, with courage and faith, one can overcome them. There is no coincidence that the national anthem of the Jewish people is called HaTikva, the hope. It is not called Tikva, hope, but rather it is made more definite, prefixed with the word the. HaTikva, the hope. For the Jewish people, hope is not random or undefined. Rather, it is deliberate, innate, and an integral part of who we are as a people. As I become a mitzvah, I look forward to continuing this legacy of being a beacon of hope. I know that it will require courage and resilience. I thank my parents for their optimism and energy in raising me. I am inspired to follow in their footsteps and be a source of hope for all my friends and family. I am turning my Bar Mitzvah with Sima Abelson, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing. As I become Bar Mitzvah, I am energized by the role that we as women play and love that it is a role which is so positive and meaningful. What a wonderful way to contribute to the world around us. I am so grateful to my parents for their support and guidance in this, and I look forward to having real impact, hopeful impact on all aspects of my life. I am twinning my Bat Mitzvah with Reza Levy, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing.
to the test. Tie your napkin round your neck, Shelley, and we'll provide the rest. Be our guest, be our guest. Our commandment is your request. We'll prepare and serve with zeal until you're visibly impressed. Who can forget the magical scenes in Beauty and the Beast when the crockery and cutlery come to life and perform the mitzvah of Haknasat or him, welcoming guests?
Haknasat or him, welcoming guests, is one of the key ways of copying God. In describing the mitzvah to walk in God's ways, the Talmud says, just as he is kind, so you be kind. One example of Hashem's kindness includes feeding the hungry, as Hashem did by providing man to the Jewish people wandering in the desert.
Abraham and Sarah emulated Hashem by performing endless acts of kindness. In Bereshit, we find Hashem talking to Abraham when Abraham sees three strangers approaching from afar. He suddenly jumps up and leads his conversation with Hashem to offer them food and drinks. Abraham treats the guests royally and serves them the finest food, and involves his whole family in the mitzvah. But how could he do it? How could he involve a conversation with God to welcome three random guests?
The answer is that even greater than talking to Hashem is to be like Hashem. Hashem is a giver. We are created in His image. This giving is our greatest form of spiritual expression. Abraham achieved great spiritual levels because he copied Hashem by welcoming guests into his home.
Throughout my life, I have watched my parents welcoming guests into my home with enthusiasm and willingness. They are true role models and true examples of kindness and hospitality. They go out their way to do acts of kindness for family and friends. And as I become that mitzvah, I thank my parents for teaching me this important lesson. And I look forward to continuing their spiritual legacy. I'm 20 my bat mitzvah with J.T. Lever, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing.
For my parents, being kind is something which comes so naturally to them. Through their actions, they have taught me to be inclusive and warm, and to treat every person with care and respect. I'm so grateful for this lesson, and as I become bat mitzvah, I look forward to following in their footsteps and the footsteps of Abraham and Sarah. I'm 20 my bat mitzvah with Raquel Jacobson, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing.
In a small shul in Bangkok, an elderly Jewish businessman arrived every Shabbos. He had promised the local rabbi to come to shul in return for the rabbi running him around the city from business meeting to business meeting. He joined a young married couple in the synagogue entrance just in time to see the young woman light Shabbos candles. Immediately he was brought to tears. He had said he had not seen the lighting of Shabbos candles since his grandmother was alive, as he had lost his mother at an early age. Moved beyond words by the actions of a stranger, the elderly man resolved to gaze more to Judaism. This is the power of our traditions. No matter what in the world we find, our traditions empower us, ground us, and strengthen us. The Shabbos council lift the whole world to connect with Hashem and with His people. A simple act of lighting the Shabbos candles on Friday night by Jewish women has such a powerful consequence. The baking of Chayla Shabbos is also a tradition which connects us with Hashem and with our people. We separate a piece of dough and throw it into the fire, remembering the sacrifice and therefore our connection with Hashem. This separation is a simple act, but the meaning behind it is deep and purposeful. And by doing that, we as women continue the long line of history of the Jewish. The baking of Challah also connects us with our fellow Jews. Challah provides an opportunity to bake together. It is an opportunity to give to others. As we need the dough, we consider those less fortunate than us, those who need our prayers. Challah humbles us, it strengthens us, and it helps us rise to the challenges of building a wonderful world.
How exciting to be part of a religion which is so full of tradition. Every festival, every milestone provides an opportunity to bring tradition to life. My home has always been full of tradition, and I am so grateful to my parents for making Yiddish such a special part of our lives. I'm looking forward to continuing the traditions of our heritage. I'm twinning my bar mitzvah with Hinta Schneider, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing.
What I love about our religion is how practical it is. There's something tangible about making challah or lighting candles. As part of our lighting program, we got the opportunity to bake challah, rabbits in Dublin, and make peppermint pudding for Shavuot. These traditions unite us. They make Yiddish quite fun and tangible, and I love that. And I thank my parents for guiding me in the same. I'm twinning my bar mitzvah with Esther Shem, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing. How wonderful that our religion gives us the opportunity to connect with one another through all the traditions we share, and gives us the time and practical ways to connect with Hashem. For me, tradition helps me have faith and belief in Hashem. I want to thank my parents for always committing to our traditions and for making them such a fun part of our lives. I'm twinning my bar mitzvah with Gitzel Lupidas, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing.
The Wizard of Oz is a beautiful musical which takes Dorothy and her dog Toto on a journey to find the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Along the way, Dorothy is joined by the Tin Man in search of a heart,
the lion interprets courage, and the scarecrow interprets brains. To get somewhere over the rainbow, they must follow the yellow brick road. Isn't it amazing that in the search for these values, the directions are clear? Just follow the yellow brick road.
In Judaism, we too have a yellow brick road. The Torah is our map, our ways, directing us and steering us on a path to reaching our potential. There are 613 mitzvot, positive commandments, which give us clear instruction as to how to live our lives and how to behave. One of the most beautiful concepts contained in the Torah is Hashem's commandment to us to choose life. The Torah says, when faced with the option of life or death, choose life. It's a bizarre command, because isn't it obvious? Surely choosing life is the obvious choice.
But Hashem is not asking us to choose to live. When Hashem commands us to choose life, He's asking us to make the most out of the lives we live, to really live, and to live life to its fullest, to strive, to reach our potential, and to live a life of purpose and meaning as directed in the Torah. This is the meaning of choose life.
As Jewish women, we are constantly following this commandment. Three mitzvot which we take on as Jewish women are all about life. Candles are a source of life and hope. Halal is a source of physical and spiritual sustenance. And family purity is all about building families and the future generation.
As I become bar mitzvah, I look forward to fulfilling these mitzvot and to fulfilling the commandment to choose life. I'm so grateful to my parents who are absolute role models in their commitment to living lives of purpose, and I thank them for guiding me in this way. I'm twinning my bar mitzvah with Leah Sender, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing.
Choosing life is such a wonderful concept because it teaches me that Judaism is a positive, happy religion, and I love that. I love that ours is a religion which is happy and joyous and positive. I'm so grateful to my parents for raising me in a home which emulates this idea. I'm twinning my bar mitzvah with Shoshana Cohen, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing.
Greatest Showman, This Is Me. The Greatest Showman is a musical which demands that we look beyond the externality to the true essence of human endeavor. In the powerful song, This Is Me, the audience is encouraged to be proud of who they are and not to measure themselves by the judgments of others. The words go, look out, because here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat our drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I'll make no apologies, this is me.
Being proud of who we are is an important part of what it means to be Jewish. While Broadway may have created the greatest showman, in Tanakh we have the greatest show Lord. Queen Esther saved the Jewish people by being proud of her heritage and her values. Despite the risk to her life, she approaches the king and pleads behalf of her people. She says, this is me. Hashem rewards her. He rewards her with her courage and her faith. But he also rewards her with her commitment to who she is and her dedication to her people.
There is a beautiful concept in her parable which balances the tension between pride and humility. It says, if I'm not for myself, who will be for me? And if I'm only for myself, who am I? This is what it means to be proudly Jewish. To be proud of our beliefs and values, but at the same time, to be humble and modest and respectful to those around us.
As a part of our Bar Mitzvah program, we were able to connect with Rebbe and Strick, who unpacked for us the beauty of our names. She explained that our parents are given a divine providence in selecting our names, and that we have an important duty to live up to our names. Our names are often the essence to who we are.
My name is Michaela, and I thank my parents for choosing this name for me. My name means one who is like Hashem, and it inspires me to be kind and loving and godly. I hope to live up to the beautiful meaning of this special name. I am telling my bar mitzvah with Sarah Cantor, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing.
My name is Adia, which means Hashem is my father. I'm so grateful that this is a part of my destiny. I thank my parents for blessing me with this name and for the qualities which are contained in it.
I also thank them for their guidance and support in helping me be the true example of my name. I'm turning my bat mitzvah with Kaiser Zelkovich, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing.
Things like candles and challah and Friday nights. Can I have a Pesach? small shul in Bangkok, an elderly Jewish businessman arrived every Shabbos. He had promised a local rabbi to come to shul, in return for the rabbi running him around the city from business meeting to business meeting. He joined a young married couple in the synagogue entrance, just in time to see the young woman light Shabbos candles. Immediately, he was brought to tears. He said he had not seen the lighting of Shabbos candles since his grandmother was alive, as he had lost his mother at an early age. Moved beyond words by the actions of a stranger, the elderly man resolved to engage more to Judaism.
This is a power of our traditions. No matter where in the world we find ourselves, our traditions unite us, they empower us, they ground us, and they strengthen us. The Shabbos candles moved an old man to connect with Hashem and with his people. A simple act of lighting Shabbos candles on Friday night by Jewish women has such a powerful consequence.
The baking of challah is also a tradition which connects us with Hashem and our God. We separate a piece of dough into and throw it into the fire, remembering the sacrifice and therefore our connection with Hashem. The separation is a simple act, but the meaning behind it is deep and personal. And by doing it, we as women can continue the long line of history of Jewish people. The baking of challah also connects us with our fellow Jews. Challah provides an opportunity to bake together. It is an opportunity to give to others. As we need the dough, we consider those less fortunate than us, those who need our praise. Challah humbles us, it strengthens us, and it helps us to rise to the challenges of building a wonderful world.
How exciting to be part of a religion which is so full of tradition. Every festival, every milestone provides an opportunity to bring tradition to life. My home has always been full of tradition, and I am so grateful to my parents for making Yiddishkeit such a special part of our lives. I look forward to continuing the traditions of our heritage. I'm joining my mitzvah with Hinda Schneider, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing.
What I love about our traditions is how practical it is. There's something tangible about making challah or lighting candles. And as part of our mitzvah program, we got the opportunity to bake challah with rabbits and golden and make them because Purim Shavuot. These traditions unite us. They make traditions fun. They make Yiddishkeit fun and tangible. And I love it. And I thank my parents for guiding me in this way. I'm telling about my mitzvah with Esther Sher, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing.
How wonderful that our religion gives us the opportunity to connect with one another through all the traditions we share, and gives us the time and practical ways to connect with Hashem. For me, tradition helps me have faith and belief in Hashem. I want to thank my parents for always committing to our traditions and for making them such a fun part of our lives. I'm twinning my bar mitzvah with Gitzel Levitas, who perished in the Holocaust. May her memory be a blessing.
There you have it. We've given you the Broadway themes and highlights are found in our great
Mazel tov, mazel tov. Dear girls, parents, grandparents, family and friends here and online, welcome to our annual Bat Mitzvah celebration. It's such an honor and a privilege for me to be able to stand here today and address you on this very momentous occasion. So you've spent the last year, learning about Bat Mitzvah, what it means to be a Jew, and how we live in the footsteps of past generations. You've dealt and you've discussed the importance of turning 12 and carrying the torch of our heritage, of our beautiful tradition. You may have expected to turn 12, go through the entire Bat Mitzvah program, and feel some sort of difference, a change, a spiritual jerk, something different about you. Anyone feel something different? And yet, nothing really happened, right? You're still the same person you were 12 months ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago. But that's on the outside only. Inside your soul, a massive shift has already occurred. From the moment you each turn 12, two voices inside of you start to make themselves heard. One is the voice of goodness. That's the inner drive inside of you that wants to do what's right, what's moral, what's ethical, what's good. The voice of Mufasa. The other is the voice of evil. It's the darker side of our personality. That part of us that urges us to think only about ourselves. Do whatever you want, regardless of who it hurts, regardless of what rules you break, as long as it makes you feel good. Similar to the voice of Scar, right? Both these voices battle it out inside of you. They're not external forces, they are you, in your heart and in your mind. And they're both in constant war with each other, fighting to control you, fighting to control your life for the rest of your life. And people who don't actually realize what's happening inside of them can often feel so confused, so lost, so overwhelmed. One minute they feel good, they feel selfless, they want to do what's right. But the next minute, they have this terrible, horrible urge and they behave wrong and selfishly. You ask yourself, what's going on? Who am I? What's wrong with me? Am I a pure angel or am I a rotten devil? The answer is both. You have a side inside of you that is beautiful, pure, and selfless. And you also have a side that is ugly, selfish, and rotten. But you get to choose which side will define you, which side will control you, which part you will give into. That is your choice. And you get to take responsibility for your choice. This battle, my dear girls, begins at your Bat Mitzvah when you each turn 12. In the years ahead, you will be tested many, many, many times. You'll often hear that voice of evil inside of you calling out, come on, go on, do it. Everyone else is doing it. It's no big deal. Can't really be so bad. You'll have a blast. Just go and do it. You'll have fun. But if you listen carefully, if you shut that noise out for a second, you'll hear another voice. Sometimes it's a little hard to hear the second voice because all the noise and the chaos around often shuts it out. But the other voice is the voice of goodness. And this voice is going to beg and implore of you to do what's right because you know what's right. This is the voice that's going to cry out to you, don't follow the masses. Just because everybody else is doing it, it doesn't mean it's right. Be an individual. You can do it. Don't worry what battle on your own. You don't have to fight it alone. You will have help against this inner devil inside of you. We are so blessed. We are so privileged that each of us, that we have as a nation a moral compass that always shines the light and guides us in the correct and the right direction. The teachings of our Holy Torah will always be there to guide you, inspire you, and teach you what's right from wrong. You just have to ensure that you're constantly plugging into the inspiration, that the Wi-Fi is constantly connected, and that you are connected to our Torah teachings. Look around. Each of you is so blessed to have the support, the motivation, and the encouragement from your beautiful families and our special community, especially as you face every single challenge and obstacle that will come your way. And just remember, a very important piece of advice. If one day you fail, and one day you fall, and one day you give in to that dark voice inside of you, just remember, it's okay. The sun will come out tomorrow, and you will try again. Becoming a bat mitzvah means this is me. It's taking responsibility for every action, for everything you do, and for all your doings, and not blaming external forces for your failings, for your shortcomings. On the day of your bat mitzvah, you're each taking that very first step in becoming a woman, not just a woman, but a Jewish woman. Another link in our chain of rich and magnificent tradition. You got it, girls. We all have such trust, we all have such faith in each one of you. Take that burning torch, and remember, you must take your place in the circle of life. You don't have a choice really. And my blessing to you is that you always wage your wars successfully by making sure that you follow that yellow brick road and bring nachas to your parents, to your families, and to the entire community. Mazel tov.
Good afternoon, everybody. I don't want to take up too much time with thank yous. Today's really about these beautiful girls in front of us, and girls who were just so wonderful. Lucky for you, you don't have to hear from me, please practice ever again. You worked so hard. You were so lovely throughout your program in the ceremony, and what was so amazing about this beautiful group of girls is that they were so incredible to one another. There was real beauty that went on between them, and I thank you for that. It made a very, very special program. I think that it's important to say a few thank yous to those who have been involved in making the Siddhavati program the incredible special program that it's been. Lee, it's hard for me, but for 10 years you have given of yourself to the Siddham Shul Bar Mitzvah program. You've done so with such tremendous energy, with deep commitment to ensuring that the girls have this powerful experience, with free zones and treats, with care and with love. The impact is seen in over 100 girls who over the years have benefited from your input. But I guess it's seen even more so in the fact that one of those 12-year-old girls who you taught years ago is taking over the program from you. It's true testimony to your effort and your contribution. On behalf of all of us at Siddham, we want to thank you for everything you did over these years to make the program the special one that it was. Please accept this gift as a welcome. You're going to kill me, and I'm sorry, right up front. I know you hate thank yous, and I know you prefer to hide at the back there from where you basically do everything for everyone. And I know you're going to be furious, and I'm sorry I start with a disclaimer and an apology. But I cannot let the moment pass without thanking you for everything you have done over years, over decades, for the Siddham Shul Bati program. You are organized, you are thorough, you are thoughtful, you are caring, and you constantly think about making this moment a special one for every single bat mitzvah girl and her family. Your attention to detail ensures that you deliver a program which is meticulously executed, and your depth of care flavors it with heart and soul. You've insisted on handing it over, but the truth is that this will always be your program because you've put in place a well-oiled machine, fine-tuned and precisely constructed. Yours are impossible shoes to fill, and we are all deeply grateful that you'll always be here to help, because that's just who you are. So thank you for the role you have played in ensuring this program has gravitas, professionalism, purpose, and meaning. I won't ask you to come and collect your gift. I know you would hate that. But it's really just something to say thank you for managing the Bat Mitzvah program literally over decades, and an enormous thank you to you. And lastly, I just want to call on Avia and Rachel to do their thank yous.
And one.
One and 13.
On behalf of the Bat Mitzvah girls, we would like to say an enormous thank you to Leah and Tanya for making our year such a rich and rewarding experience. We loved our weekly lessons and we are very grateful to you and everything you have taught and instilled in us. We really will miss you teaching us both every week.
So Amanda and Ingrid, thank you for being all your hard work behind the scenes. We know that without you, your ceremony would not have happened. And we are so grateful for all the love and effort you have put into making it so special for us.
Rachel Lee.